Hello YouTube and valued viewers, Byron at Splitting Slices. Welcome back to the Knife and EDC channel. Today, a big old, thank God it's Friday, TGIF, July 31st, 2026, and that means it's time to do a Fun Knife Friday. We'll do that at the very end of this video, but it's also the first of a three-part open tag series called 3x3 Knives. This was sponsored by Knife Chats with Tobias. Basically, you are to show 3 knives every day for 3 consecutive days, and they need to include a fixed blade, a modern locking folder, and a traditional or modern slip joint. I think I can do that. Let's get into it. The first knife we're going to take a look at is a Kaiser Bulldog. Now, this is a brand new fixed blade knife designed by Show and is produced in several different configurations and several different steels. This version comes from Amazon, and it is the D2 coated blackwashed blade, PVD type coating, and stonewashed with a 3-inch, it's 2.97 inches sheep's foot blade of D2 steel. Comes in the olive green G10 scales. It's a one-piece handle. The blade is flat ground. All right. Comes with the Kydex sheath and a tech lock on the back for carry. Of course, I would recommend if you're going to use this as a everyday EDC fixie, and that's really what it's set up for, that you consider maybe a DCC or an Alti clip for the pocket on this one. All right, the model number on this is 1116M1. These were produced and came out, first production runs I think were this spring of 2026. The overall length of this is just shy of 7 inches. All right, you've got just shy of a 3-inch blade, which we talked about. Blade thickness is 0.12 inches or close to an 1/8 inch. Notice you've got jimping along that spine and thumb ramp on the handle, and you can extend all the way out, and it has some jimping if you want to do some pull drag cuts or utility cuts. So that makes it very nice to use for a utility everyday fixie. All right, handle length is 4 inches. The weight of this knife weighs 3.6 ounces. All right, and I think it's a little over about 4.4, 4.5 with the sheath. All right, and the hardness on that steel is reported to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 58 to 59 HRC. Now, this knife runs about $45 on Amazon. Other configurations with other blade steels, such as 14C28N and Nitro V, can range anywhere from about $67 up to $115 on the Kaiser website or your favorite Kaiser dealer. So if you're not interested in the black stonewashed and coated PVD coated blade with the olive green configuration and color scheme, there are other configurations to be had. So that's our first knife, the Kaiser Bulldog Fixie. This one was in a D2 steel. Our second knife, and if you haven't noticed yet, I've gone with the olive green and black motif for our related topic for the 3 knives. Our second knife is also a Kaiser. Now, this is the Kaiser Sheepdog top liner lock version. Now, this one also comes from Amazon. It retails for around $45. All right, the model number on this is C01C. It has a 2.9-inch long sheep's foot blade. This one is PVD coated with a blackwash and stonewashed finish on it. All right, with G10 olive green scales. Has that standard, we've come to know and love, that very ergonomic and comfortable sheep's foot blade with a 50-50 finger choil between the blade and the handle. Gives you a nice grip. You've got jimping up on that spine of the knife where your thumb rests on, and just makes an overall really good EDC utility cutter for the day. Of course, this you can flick open with the hole in the blade. All right. Now, this also is built in several different configurations with prices ranging from anywhere from about $45 up to about $100, depending on the blade steel and the handle material. It does come in micarta. You can also get it in a carbon, kind of a fat carbon scale, vortex micarta, and you can get it in several different steels, including K110, which is like a European D2. You can get it in LMAX, and I believe it also comes in Nitro V, pardon me. All right. Blade length, again, is just shy of 3 inches at 2.95 inches. This particular knife, again, has the D2 steel. All right, but you can get it in Nitro V. And the overall weight on this knife is 3.4 ounces. Hardness of the steel comes in around 60 to 61 on the HRC scale. So this is the Kaiser Sheepdog top liner lock. And that top liner lock really gives a nice feel and is very easy to use to open and close the knife. You just push on that top liner lock, and of course most of the knife companies have come out with top liner versions since the patent has expired on the Spyderco compression locks, which is basically the same functional mechanism. All right, but that's our second knife today, again in the black PVD coated blade steel and olive green pattern, the Kaiser Sheepdog top liner lock. All right, and our third knife and final knife is from Real Steel. This came out last year in 2025. This is the Real Steel Stella Lux, and it is a slip joint, but it is a modern slip joint. It does have a spring in the back that controls the motion of the blade. This is not, say, a double detent. This is a traditional spring-loaded slip joint. But it's modern in its materials, its shape, and the fact that it does have a stamped pocket clip on this one as well. But it has a 2/3 or 3/4 half stop in the blade, and then it snaps open into its open position. All right. Now this one is also can be obtained from Amazon for about $48 right now. All right. Overall length on this knife is just over 7 inches. It's 7.01 inches. You have a 2.95 inch long blade. All right. I would call this basically a drop point or even possibly a clip point blade, but it does very close to almost having a spear-like appearance to it as far as the shape on it, but I would definitely call this a clip point. All right, nice fuller nailed nick, more or less, that runs the full length of that blade all the way into the actual tang. Okay, close length is 4.2 inches. This blade is PVD coated and blackwashed with and is K110 tool steel. All right, again, we've got the olive green G10 handle scales. Handle thickness runs about 0.37 inches. And the overall weight on this knife is right around 1.7 ounces. And this is made in China for Real Steel, an American company. So that is nice walk and talk on that too for a modern knife. There's your 2/3 cam half stop action, and then it opens up. But a modern slip joint, and the fact that it has a pocket clip and really sized more like a medium-sized knife. In fact, it's longer than the actual sheepdog we looked at as far as a modern folding locking knife. So there are the 3 knives for today, with the black blade and the OG green being the common theme between these 3. Go pick them up. You can get them, again, in several different configurations and steels on Amazon or your favorite Kaiser website or Kaiser dealer. And that's going to do it for me. Byron at Splitting Slice is saying, please split a slice with a friend soon. And until my next video, everybody, please take care.